Right. Welcome here to a very special edition of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Here brought to you exclusively by the Wildcat Sports Pub on 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus, New York. Open 7 days a week for you. And of course, they're also there for you for takeout and delivery by calling 315-487-2222. This special here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora featuring Buddy Boeheim of Syracuse Orange basketball history, which is a very strange thing to say. And Buddy and I talked for, I want to say it was like a year and a half going into your decision to come to Syracuse. Then when you made your decision and all of that, then the entire time he's been at Syracuse and now after the fact. So I think it's safe to say we've been friends for what, 7 years now, at least?
Yeah, at least. I mean, I remember at JD talking to you. One of the first people I've talked to in terms of, media, and obviously it's much more than that now. It's a friendship and, someone I know I'll connect with and still keep in touch with, off the court as much as on the court these next so many years.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it, buddy. And there's so many things to unpack and get into. And I guess the beginning piece is when you look at this time at Syracuse, to me, it felt like it flew by. I can imagine for you, it probably felt faster.
Yeah, it flew by. I mean, I remember growing up, going to games, all this stuff. And I mean, even now it still hasn't hit me. I don't think that I played at Syracuse and played in a game in a place that I grew up being the ball boy, mopping the court at timeouts. And it still hasn't come full circle yet and realized that, man, I just played at a place that I grew up in. Really, the biggest part of my life has been Syracuse basketball since I was 4 years old. First went to the Dome and first started watching games. I mean, so many guys I looked up to, and Syracuse basketball is really my life. So it's going to be a little weird now transitioning out of that phase and being a fan again, which is always, I'm going to watch every game still and hopefully come back for practices and games. But it flew by. I mean, I remember being a freshman with Tyus and O'Shea and Frank Howard. And those were like, big brothers to me, guys I looked up to and learned from. And, that fast forward a couple of years and now I'm one of them and one of the leaders and seniors on the team. And it feels like yesterday I was one of the young guys. So I'm old now, officially old, and I'm a former Syracuse basketball player, which will take a little to get used to. So that's probably the weirdest part of it all.
Tyus Battle, O'Shea Brissett. You mentioned these guys, Frank Howard. What was it like coming onto a team with guys like that?
Oh, it was huge. Just as a freshman, not ready yet to play at this level. I feel like the speed of the game was, a big difference. I mean, high school to college basketball, it's night and day. You really can't expect so much from freshmen nowadays. I feel like, only really the top ones because it's such a different level. And they were able to just keep me steady throughout the season, throughout the ups and downs. They just kept pushing me and told me to keep working hard and, it would all work out, and that really helped me. I mean, I remember sophomore, junior year working out in high school with Tyus and Frank every day at 6 a.m. And those were some of the best days. I really looked up to Tyus when I was in high school because he was such a hard worker, such a competitive guy, and also just a great guy off the court. So playing behind him and playing with him at times was one of the best experiences at Syracuse, I'd say. He's obviously an all-time great here, and we had a lot of good memories together on the court. So that was, having those guys was key for me freshman year.
I spoke with Jerry about the fact that he remembers having to babysit you and Jimmy in the hotel room, and then fast forward to now, and he's your position coach. How eerily strange is that?
Oh man, it's such a blessing. G-Mac's like a big brother to me now. I mean, obviously we were close growing up when he was here, however long he's been here, even, when he was a player, obviously watching us as kids. And that was obviously my favorite player growing up. And to be able to work out with him for these last 4+ years, really 6-7 years, I've spent the most time on the court with him. No one else, I think, in the basketball court. I've spent thousands of hours with him, and we've gotten so much work done together. And wouldn't trade it for anything. I mean, I tell him I'm just as excited this year to work out with him as I was when I first started working out with him, which just shows how much I've appreciated working with him and how much I love it because he brings so much passion, intensity, knowledge to the game. And I always look at him as a coach more than a player because he's really become an incredible coach, and I wouldn't be where I am without him. And he won't take as much credit as he should, but he's definitely got me to where I'm at. A big part of it.
How did Jerry do it? What were the things that he specifically did that make you feel like he has a stamp on your game?
Yeah, I mean, just playing the guard position, point guard, obviously, but he's a elite shooter, the best of all time to play here. And I had the goal of being one of the best to play here as a shooter. But he just little things. I mean, moving without the ball, always moving, getting me in the best shape as possible, telling me, I'm going to be in the best shape on the court out of any player. I'm never going to get tired. Just stuff like that. And then expanding my game, helping me off the dribble, just helping me with angles, just staying low, keeping my feet wide, little things. He has so much knowledge. When I first got here, I was like, wow, this is a lot. It's going to take me a little to get used to his workouts because they were tough. I mean, it's elite level stuff, and I wouldn't want it any other way. It's a challenge every day, and even now it's different stuff, working on my back to the basket, getting to the mid-range game, and he's just helped me expand on my game so much, coming in as a spot-up shooter. Now I feel like I can score on all levels, make plays, and I really owe him a lot of that because he's such a smart player and he's such a good coach, and he wants to see me succeed as much as I want to succeed. So that always meant a lot to me.
Coming here from Buddy Boeheim from Syracuse Orange history, crazy to say, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, proudly brought to you by the Wildcat Sports Pub on 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus. Buddy, to stick there with a second, just what a place like the Wildcat. I mean, you grew up in this community, so what does it mean to you that not only are these businesses here, these local businesses are here, and that places like the Wildcat navigated through one of the toughest times that we've ever endured as people in general?
Yeah, it's incredible. Just, the local support, obviously. I know that, all the fans go there, they watch our games, and they're throughout the season, they're there no matter what. And after the tough year last year, not having fans in the Dome especially, and, restaurants struggling, obviously, just the resiliency and the support from the community coming together and, coming back out, now that it's weathered down and everyone, vaccinated, whatever it may be. But it's just great to see the community, sticking together and always being there for each other. It's, Syracuse I think it's the greatest place because of the people. I've always said that. It doesn't have a beach. It doesn't have big buildings or all these fancy places, but it has incredible people. And I've said that from the start, and there's no other place I'd rather grow up because of the people here.
So many places to go to, as I said before. I want to address this because, like we talked about, we've been friends for at least 7 years now. I was in the room after that game, right after the game against Florida State. And I've got to know Cole from like pretty much almost the moment that he decided to come to Syracuse, and gotten to know Joe from, when he first came in. Joe Girard III and Cole Swider are sitting up there with your dad at the press conference. And I'm sitting here thinking, Syracuse just won by 39. Best game that they played all season. I'm hyped. I'm happy for you guys. I'm looking forward to the next game. And you know that I'm media by my badge, but never by who I am as a human. And so I'm in a room with a bunch of people that I wanted to cause a problem, wanted to see the negative, right? And I remember people asking Cole and Joe about your character and do they consider you a good person? I want you to know, and I know a lot of people are seeing this right now, I have no problem saying this. I almost got up in the room and a guy stood right in the front, and I almost had a lot of words to say about that. Knowing who you are as an individual. And you actually said something the next game in the press conference. You said, I've not gotten in a fight my whole life. That's not who I am. And I remember saying that to people. I got pushed in 5th grade. I hit the guy back after he pushed me twice. And I look back at that moment and I'm like, since that moment, nothing. And even in that moment, I was like, you had to do it for a long time. I know your character. I know who you are as a person. I have defended that to the nth degree, with or without the incident. So I'd love for you to speak about your character and who you are, because I'm tired of people speaking for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Obviously, the support has meant a lot. Obviously, the media is going to jump on an instance like that. And I think one of the reasons it really blew up was because I hadn't had any prior, instances where, a dirty play or anything like that. I've never had controversy in my life, really. So, I mean, every day I wake up, I try to be the best person I can. Obviously, one of the biggest goals is work as hard as I can, be the best player I can, best teammate I can. But off the court, it's always been, smile, have make someone else's day better. I mean, there's a lot going on in this world, and all I can do as a person is try to make someone else's day better, use my platform. A lot of people look up to me, a lot of people love watching me play, love who I am off the court, and I truly try to just make someone's day a little bit better and try to put a smile on someone's face. And I always will want to be remembered as being a good person before being a good player. That's been my biggest goal from the start. And I'm at peace with that. I'm at peace with what people think of me, outside that don't know me. Because I know, like you said, the people that do know me, I try to be the best person I can every day, and that will never change. And one play will not change that. And I think that there was a mutual respect there with me and Wyatt. He was fine from the start. I think there was a respect between me and the team. Florida State Coach Hamilton was great about it. He knows my character. Obviously, being a 4-year guy, I would never do something like that intentional. So, I think I'm kind of at peace at it now. Obviously beat me up for about a week. I couldn't sleep, just, was asking why I did it, all that stuff. But, looking back on it and just looking back on my whole career, looking back on my whole life and who I'll continue to try to be the best I can every day. Just, it's another reason why I can even be a better person, do even more, for the community and whatever it may be, continue to prove people wrong that, hey, that's not me. I'm a great person. And I try to be a great person every day. It's not hard to be nice. It's easy to be kind every day. And that's my biggest motto is just, kindness it's free, and, just try to make someone's day better every day. And that's who I'll always be. And that's what I'm about.
And the fact that after everything happened, you came out, it would have been easy, and it would have been totally textbook for a team to not have you speak at all. And so I got to ask you two-part. First, was it your decision to come out? And then secondly, you had nothing written down. I mean, you spoke from your heart that day, just what you wanted to get across.
Yep. Yeah. I woke up that day and I just immediately was like, I can't, we put a tweet out last night, and like, I didn't want to do, I wasn't really all about that, because it's not, it's not really from me. It's just written words on a Twitter post, and it's not really, personal. People can't relate to that. And I just, the whole morning I woke up, showered, whatever, sitting on my bed, I was like, I need to say something. I don't want to make it about me, but I want people to know, if this is my last game, I obviously still had faith in us as a team to go win that. And we could have easily won that without me, but I wanted to make sure people knew that I wasn't, I didn't want to end it like that. And I wanted people to know that I did feel bad for my actions. I really did. And I texted Pete Moore that morning and said I want to join the press conference after the game. I know 2 players usually do it, so just have me go up there. I'll do it after by myself, whatever it may be. And he asked if my dad was okay with that. I texted my mom, and she said, "You sure?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I just went up there. I really didn't have much planned out. I just wanted to apologize, really, and just spoke from the heart, truly, and wanted people to know that I apologize and how much playing at Syracuse has meant to me, because it's been my whole life. It's like my life's work is playing at Syracuse basketball. It's what I've spent 8-10 years for, every day working for, and wanted people to know that I truly was sorry, but it was such an honor to play at Syracuse for 4 years. And besides that moment, I wouldn't trade it for anything. And so after, the day after, 2 days after, my dad was like, was that all you? And I was like, yeah, I had to do that. So, it's definitely a proud moment, just being able to take, responsibility for my actions. And I felt like it was the right thing to do.
And there was a point where, and you got through it, and you just spoke from that. And I called my dad after, and I said to my dad, I was like, I know Buddy. And I said, we have a lot of similarities in how we treat people. And I said, I would have done the same thing. And I would have just taught. I said, there was nothing written down. He was talking. He could have stopped at any time. And until you got choked up, that's when your dad was like, all right, that's enough. And you could see in that moment that, there's just that genuine love and care that goes beyond basketball. And I thought that that was really a great moment, because I feel like the world doesn't really know Jim Boeheim the way that they should. And so I thought that that was like a true moment of, these are my kids and beyond. And I posted what he said when he said, this was my favorite season. And everybody had an opinion of it in 2003. And that was a championship. I said, you don't get it. He got to do something that like 0.0000001% of the world will ever even like imagine doing, to have his sons there. So, I mean, that I can totally understand why that could be a favorite season.
Yeah, absolutely. Just growing up together, playing, it's really unbelievable. I mean, I haven't really thought about it all, and hasn't sunk in yet, obviously, but it's unbelievable playing for our dad and playing at Syracuse. I mean, one of the best programs ever. He's built it to what it is. And forget the wins and losses. Obviously, you want to have a better season, but sharing the court with your brother, someone that's your closest person, friend in life, your dad, or my best friend in life, and in front of my mom, in front of my sister, in front of, all the fans and people that watch us grow up, there's nothing like it. It's there's no win or loss column that can match that. And it's obviously would have been awesome if we won, but just being out there with them was a dream come true. And I'll remember this year forever. And their goods, the bads, but most importantly, the family and being out there with them. It's, can't put it into words how much it meant to me and Jimmy. And, it just made us grow even closer as a family, as a friendship, and something we'll share together for a long time. So yeah, it was the best year. I mean, I went to the Sweet 16 last year and had some big games, and this year was definitely, bigger for me, and it will always be more memorable.
You bring it up, and I talked to Jimmy about it, the way that the entire team played out of their minds for you. I mean, you could tell that they were not okay with it, and the way that they fought for you. And Jimmy's out there nailing threes, and I'm going, wait a second, did Buddy put the on for a second? And then at the end of it, I'm filming from across from where you guys are, and I just start filming the moment, and I realize while I'm filming, I see you walk up to your brother, and you guys just hugged each other. What did you say to him?
Man, I just told him I was so proud of him. He just said, sorry, I couldn't get you back out there for one more game. But, man, I could have cried in that moment. It was really just an unbelievable moment. I was so proud of him that whole game, just watching him. He's given a top 3 pick in the draft, 28 points, and we were projected to get killed, and no one thought we had a chance. And there he is playing his heart out, his best game of his career, no doubt about it. And, I give him all the credit. It's all of him, his hard work and stuff. But just I know that part of him wanted to do that for me especially. And that meant so much to me, just my big brother right there fighting for me and giving everything he had. And, all those guys, I told them after, I was so proud of them. But it was truly a special moment. And, a game, one of my favorite games ever, honestly, as a Syracuse player, just sitting there watching him do his thing. It was inspiring.
I actually said that right after the game. I said, I don't care what anybody thinks. That was one of like my top 3 favorite Syracuse basketball games ever, because of, you could tell with him how personal it was to play for you. And I mean, Barama's out there. And if anybody knows the story of how that man's fought from day 0 to be on the court, and he had 2 massive blocks, Joe's playing out of his mind, Cy's doing his thing, Cole's making shots, Frank Anselm's getting out there and trying to get himself involved around the rim and whatnot. It was such a great thing to watch. I got a snapshot of Joe in the corner nailing that 3 before half. And then after you hugged Jimmy, you hugged Cy and you hugged Joe. What were those exchanges like? Because I know that obviously you've known them longer.
Yeah, definitely. Just Joe, he's same thing. They just, Paul, obviously he was upset they couldn't get done for me as the first thing, but just shows their character. And, it's a brother, it's family. I love those guys, not just Jimmy, I love all of them. And, Joe just told him, he fought as hard as he could have and played an incredible game, had one of the best first halves you can have against a team like Duke, who he's getting all the attention now as, one of the lead guys with me out, and he's still making tough shots and playing as hard as he can. He's banged up, and just told him, obviously, I love him, so proud of him. And Cy also just, telling him that he's tough tough, man. He weathered a lot of storms. He had ups and downs this year. Games he played 5 minutes, games he played 10, and he comes in and could have had a triple-double against Duke. Pretty incredible. And just kind of smiled and, said it was unbelievable. So just was super proud of them and wanted them to know right away to hang their head high, because no reason to be upset about that game. They were incredible.
Here with Buddy Boeheim, proudly presented by the Wildcat Sports Pub on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Buddy, your mom came out and she was standing right to my right in the press conference where you spoke after the Duke game. And if I recall, she was wearing your sweatshirt. And, she I could tell when she walked forward, she was fighting back tears. I'm like, don't do it, Julie. Like, don't start the day off like that. But to see, you could tell that love that just goes beyond. We hear a lot about you. We hear about Jimmy. And of course, we hear about your dad, 46 years as a head coach at Syracuse. I want to know about Mom and who she is as a person and how you would describe what she's done in your life as another leader of the household.
She's an angel. She's the glue of the family. She's probably inspires me more than anyone just to be a good person every day. She's really the one that showed me how to treat people. She meets someone for the first time in Wegmans, and 30 minutes later she knows everything about her. They know everything about each other, and that's who she is. She wants to make everyone feel like they're cared for and loved, and she taught me that at a young age, and I owe her a lot. Obviously, my dad also just one of the most caring people ever, also that people don't see, but my mom is truly a special lady, a strong lady. She obviously she faces as much, hate as we do probably when things are going bad. And, being the husband of Jim Boeheim and being our mom, it's obviously not easy when things are going bad, but she's there every step of the way. She wants to know every detail of practice and workout. She's watching every game, screaming, and I love her so much, and the best mom I could ever ask for. All these guys call her mom too, and she looks out for them like one of us. And she's definitely I think the first lady of Syracuse. Everything she's done for the community, she tries to go above and beyond. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's for the foundation for Boys and Girls Club, she tries to help as many people as she can, and always has a smile on her face no matter what. So just truly a amazing person, and I'm forever thankful to call her my mom.
There's a TV show that I want to produce, and I want to call it Growing Up Boeheim. How would you describe what that means?
Oh man, that would be that'd be awesome. Just being a Boeheim has been such a blessing. I wear that name with pride no matter what happens, no matter what, if we win or lose, I'll always have pride for that, just because it's bigger than basketball at this point. What Jim Boeheim has done for the city of Syracuse it's above and beyond wins and losses. It's, he's given so much hope to people. He's given back so much to people, to kids and the community, to everything. And it's bigger than basketball. And he's going to be he's a legend, obviously a Hall of Famer, but he's also a special person off the court. And that's what I'm most proud of, probably, is the people that the Boeheims are. Because, all of us, my sister included, my brother, we're great people, and we want to be the best people we can every day. And we're going to treat anyone with the same amount of respect and kindness. And, it's obviously not easy being a Boeheim. Also, there's a lot that comes with it, a lot of pressure and, hate and adversity, but you have to overlook that always, because there's the positives will always be better than that and brighter.
Everything that you've grown up around and everything that you've seen, you saw your dad get criticized, and then you got to be a part of that. You let people know, hey, I wasn't supposed to be here, right? I wasn't a good shooter, right? I wasn't a D1 player. And you rose to the top 20 all-time scorers in Syracuse basketball history. You ended your career in college as the ACC's leading scorer of 15 institutions. I think it's safe to say that the Buddy that you believed in and the Buddy that I believed in got the last word.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I'll never hang my head down no matter what. No one can say anything to me is my mindset now of what I did at Syracuse for yet. Yeah, we lost this year, but, I still think I had a pretty good season. It's not easy leading the league in scoring, obviously getting a lot of attention every game. I'm getting guarded by the best players I have. There's a lot of respect between other teams with how they guard me in the scouting report. I think I'm obviously a top 5 player in the league with all first team, but man, I think the biggest thing I can say is when something means as much as it does, as Syracuse basketball does to me, you're going to make it happen. And that was my mindset from day one is I'm going to face ups and downs. It's not going to be easy, but there's no way I'm not going to make it happen. And that was my mindset every day I woke up was get better, work hard, and put everything I have into this because it's a dream come true. Nothing will be bigger than this. If I play in the NBA, if I whatever happens, nothing will be better than playing at Syracuse. So I gave it everything I had, and I have no regrets. I really don't. I did everything I could, and feel like I was pretty successful while doing so.
You and I spoke when you were getting recruited, and coaches around the country could see what you were doing. And it sticks out with me that Gonzaga and Mark Few saw that. And in my brain, and maybe you can answer it if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. You could talk about it off the air as friends. But if your dad was not the head coach of Syracuse, I feel like you would have been in Gonzaga.
So, it would have been definitely a conversation. I would have definitely taken a visit. Mark Few's a great guy. He's actually a great friend. We had conversations over the years, and he really just wanted me to know he thought I was a good player, thought I could play there. And I can't tell you how much that meant to me because the year before that I was a bench player on my AAU team. I wasn't playing. Maybe I was hoping to play Division II, Division III. And, I never forget, I'm telling my dad, like, next year I'm going to play. They're going to have no choice but to play me, and I'm going to show everyone what I can do. And fighting back tears. And, that summer I went to work that offseason. I worked as hard as I ever did and had a great Peach Jam, had a great UIBL session with City Rocks with Joe, Isaiah Stewart, great players. And Coach Williams told my dad he better take me or North Carolina. Well, Patrick Ewing came up to him, said he has an offer to Georgetown, which would never happen, but pretty funny story. And then Mark Few, obviously. But, if it was Ryder, G-Mac, or Griffith coaching at the helm, no doubt I'd be Syracuse. Those are my uncles. But, I would have taken a visit if it was someone I wasn't too familiar with or what didn't, grow up in Syracuse basketball because Gonzaga's an elite program. It's incredible what he's done there at a mid-major. It's truly awesome. And he's also a great guy, great coach.
You said you were going to play at Syracuse. You said it when you were growing up. So many kids said that, right? When I was growing up, I had a 21 jersey, a Syracuse 21 jersey, and I'm out there playing in high school saying, I want to do this. I want to be like this player. So many people have lived in that world of when you grow up in Syracuse, New York, and you're around the Dome, you just want to be there. The moment that I will remember forever is that Dale Shackelford there was a Syracuse camp in August years ago, and Dale and I met, and the ball, and I was on the court, the official court, Jim Boeheim court, and the ball went off the court and Dale passed it to me. It took one bounce. I caught it right by the free throw line. And I said, I have to make this shot. And I spun around and I shot a fadeaway from the right side of the free throw line. It went in, and I looked at Dale and I said, you got to change your stats in the record books. You got one more. You got to actually do what so many kids have dreamt of doing. You said it was going to happen. Even when Dad was like, I don't know. Even when other people were like, maybe try something else. You never gave up on your dream. Why?
Man, just being 10 years old and crying after every game we lost and being a ball boy on the court and having a GMAC jersey, loving Arenze Anuaku, loving Deion Waiters, loving Tyler Ennis, Eric Devendorf, being at practice every day at Manly. Only thing I wanted to do every day, working out with GMAC in the morning before school, best part of my day every day. Just so many things. It's my life. I truly, I get emotional talking about it. It's meant so much to me. And I couldn't imagine being anywhere else. I mean, I'd be a manager if I had to, but I was gonna try to be the best player I could every day. I mean, getting off the school bus and working out with Devo right away for an hour and a half. I mean, I said whatever it takes, I'm gonna do it. And I was very far away as a sophomore, as a freshman in high school. It was very slim chance. I wasn't playing on my AAU teams. I wasn't the best player on my high school team. I had a long ways to go, but I just said whatever it takes, I'll do it. And I owe a lot of people credit for that, for my success, for getting me here, because without them, I wouldn't have got here. But I'm just thankful they stuck it out with me. They believed in me, and I think they knew that I was going to do whatever it took to play at Syracuse.
What was the difference? What do you think when you said, there was moments where I'm not the starter, I'm sitting on the bench, maybe I'm going D2, maybe I'm going D3. What was the difference that you believe got you to where you wanted to go and made your dream a reality?
I think just sticking with it. I was I was really skinny in sixth, seventh grade, eighth grade. It was not athletic by any means. I couldn't even shoot it that well, really. I was a decent player, and I think I grew to 6'6", which really helped. That's probably my biggest strength. Growing up in high school, being 6'6", getting to my shot down, getting more consistent, and then, one of the biggest things I owe credit to is Ryan Cabillas, our strength trainer. Since seventh grade, our freshman test for high school basketball, I trained with him every day, as much as GMAC. Probably him and GMAC are the two guys, and Devo I've spent more time than anyone with. But Ryan maybe the most, just because I needed to get my body right. I was the worst athlete on the court every time I stepped on the court, and by my junior year, I could hang with guys. I could hang with the best guys in the country, I thought, and as a shooter especially, but also just my conditioning, my footwork, my speed, my strength has gotten a lot better over the years, and I think it's gotten a lot better here, especially. But that's one of the biggest things, and also just playing with older guys, playing with the guys here every day, and having them push me just helped a lot.
Are you prepared to see your dad coach for the rest of his life?
Yeah, I'm so prepared, man. I love it. He's got it still. He's a legend. It doesn't matter what anyone says, man. He's incredible, and he's still going. He still loves it every day. He's getting guys that are excited to come in and play for him, and I'm excited about this next group. I really am. I think there's some really good gems in this class coming in, and he's still going, man. There's not much that can stop him.
I said he'll be the first coach to 1,000 wins twice. So
exactly, man. Exactly.
So in closing here, a couple final points. One of them being the fact of now that you're working and you're with Rock Nation, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So having that opportunity and being with your brother, signing with Rock Nation, what do you feel is tangible and real? You have overcome whatever odds were set before you. We've just spent a lot of time talking about that. Are you an NBA player? Why?
Yeah, I think I am. I see guys, that are similar to me. Obviously, I have a lot of work to do to catch them, but I think I can get in the league and make shots. I can make shots. I'm a shot maker. I can come in and make 2-3 threes off the bench if I play. It doesn't matter 5-10 minutes. If you give me a couple open looks, I'm gonna knock them down. That's my mindset as a shooter. I want to be one of the best shooters in the world, and I feel like I've worked myself up to where I can be as good as anyone, and just having a mindset that I'm never going to stop working. It doesn't matter what happens. I'm going to wake up the next day, anytime, and get better and get work in and learn and try to be the best I can. So just having that hunger that I grew, and my work ethic that I grew at Syracuse in these last 7-8 years of my life. I haven't taken many off days, I'd say, in 8 years, and every day I have that same mindset. It's always, all right, go as hard as you can, and then take a rest for the rest of the day, whatever. But I'll do whatever it takes, and I know teams are going to know that right away. And when I get down, start working out with guys and those, they're going to know that I'm hungry, and I'm going to make it happen no matter what.
Where are the areas that you want to make sure you hone in on to be prepared?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is conditioning. You know, as a shooter, you have to be able to run around and come off screens and handoffs and be able to run around. So that's one of the biggest things. Putting on some weight, maybe putting on 5-10 pounds, you know, getting solid, having, you know, not playing 40 minutes for a little now will help me to be able to build that body back up and get that strength back. But those are two of the biggest things. And then, you know, maybe quicker release, whatever, shooting from different angles, you know, with hands in my face, pressure. And I think this year helped me a lot, though, in terms of conditioning, playing against the best defenders, taking tough shots.
Time with your brother, you got to see him and hug at the end of games when he was on Cornell. And it was like, hey, you know, great game. See you again soon. But this season, you got to go to the same locker room at the end of a game. Do you have a favorite moment from this year?
I'd probably say the Indiana game, double overtime.
You said, just so you know, you guys did not know, but you said the same thing.
That's funny. I actually didn't know that. But it was a great game, a great win. Coming off a tough tournament in Atlantis, and we both had big games. That was one of his better games as well. Obviously, Indiana was good. They were a tournament team, and it was having fans back to one of the first big games with fans, and a lot of emotions. It was a stressful game, a tiring game, but to be able to close that out was awesome. So I'd say that one.
Besides that moment with your brother, favorite moment that you have at Syracuse?
So tough, man. I mean, I got to go Sweet 16. You know, a moment after the game, I gave my dad a hug after the West Virginia game, and it just was, you know, surreal. I couldn't put it into words, really. It was, you know him. He's going to try to downplay the moment and, you know, oh, it's Sweet 16 is good, you know, but to do it with him and beat a very good West Virginia team. And we were obviously an underdog, and everything that happened with COVID, I had struggles and had COVID during the year. I mean, it was the toughest year for a lot of people's lives, and it was just awesome to be able to persevere through that and win 2 games in the tournament was pretty special.
So that being said, my last thing here is the family. We brought it up. We've talked a little bit about mom, talked about dad, about your brother. So I want to know about Sissy a little bit more. And since we haven't shouted her out yet, and what your favorite family moment is, if you had to pinpoint one off the court.
Oh, that's a really good one. Sissy's the best. She's always been, you know, we've always ganged up on Jimmy growing up because she was my twin, and Jimmy would always get in arguments with us and we'd have each other's back. So a lot of good laughs there, but man, a lot of good family moments. Just really little moments, just watching movies together, going out to eat. Let me think. Special one was probably 2016 when we went to the Final Four, beat Virginia. We were all on the court, had a big, you know, family hug. And just, you know, it was just a proud moment, just a very emotional moment. That was one of the best tournament runs ever, obviously, with Malachi Richardson and Benajay and Trevor. And that was a special moment for sure.
Yeah, and it's cool because that game, I remember I told my dad, I said, you got to come to Chicago. And he couldn't come work-wise. And I said, if they go to Houston, they go to the Final Four, you have no choice.
Yeah.
And I remember I'm watching the game and the team was down by like 15, 16. And I'm looking at it. And I remember looking because I was at the press box up, and I looked down at my notepad, my computer, and something inside of me said, but the fat lady didn't sing yet. Like, it's not over till it's over.
Nope.
And then when you guys beat Virginia, when the team beat Virginia and that moment happened, it's funny how you said you shared a family moment, because I called my dad and I'm in the press box, and my dad doesn't cry that much. He doesn't scream that high pitch. I'll never forget the way he sounded when he said, "We're going to the Final Four." And I came home and took my dad, and we came out to Houston.
It's awesome, man. It's family. Syracuse basketball's family for sure.
So with that being said, Buddy Boeheim, Syracuse Orange Bas. I don't want to say it. It's weird. Syracuse Orange basketball history. You know, makes it sound like
weird.
But
it does, man. It does.
Syracuse basketball history, Buddy Boeheim. This episode of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora brought to you by the amazing people, Danny Tillman, the family at the Wildcat Sports Pub. Buddy, I know that our friendship is bigger than all this. So I know we'll be in touch no matter what. and always texting back and forth, and we'll talk. But love to have you back on the show. Rooting for you to find your next chapter and have a very happy one as always. But more than anything else, you know it. I mean, it's our friendship that started before you even were close to saying yes to Syracuse. So it means a lot to me how you've treated me, and I appreciate it so very much. And I look forward to continuing to build that friendship together.
Always, man. Appreciate all the support. Obviously, we first as a friend, and then, you know, our relationship with media and all that. But always will be a friend first. So thank you for all the support on and off the court. It has meant a lot, and we'll definitely stay in touch. And always, you know, thank you, and, you know, go Cuse.
And just tell Jimmy that we got to have at least one movie theater poster together.
I like it.
All right.
I like it.
All right, man. Be good.
Awesome.